I got a wide angle lens today.
What?
Ultra wide angle lens.
Okay.
10 to 20 millimeters.
Now
Ultra
can
wide.
almost fit his ego in it.
Why is it ultra wide? Why isn't it black or Hispanic?
Top deck. Also, by the way, we're recording.
We are?
Fupa.
Yes, we are.
Oh.
So
That's
yeah, welcome to episode 32. That's almost rule 34 of Radio Rothingham. So yeah, it's decided now. Episode
Wait,
34.
it's not your age. It's almost your age.
Almost.
Hey, you keep aging. You're throwing me off.
Yeah, before you know it, the number of Radio Rothinghams will be the same as my age. Actually, I don't. This is episode. I don't know. I stopped keeping track of the episodes. Is this episode 33? Because if it is, then it is.
It should be episode 32.
I think it's at least episode 5.
At least, yes.
At least, yeah, but it's less than 100.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, in other words,
it's in the interval of. It's in the closed interval between 5 and 100.
Yeah, so in other words, when it is episode 34, we should totally just troll the porn. Screw YouTube, just gonna flood it with all.
It's 32, so basically 2 more episodes till the pornographic ones.
Yeah, it's
Look
decided.
forward to it. You'll see it here first.
Episode, you heard it here first. Episode 34 of Radio Rothingham is gonna be the porn episode.
As you do.
Where we'll draw the kinkiest representations of things no one has yet drawn porn of.
It's the only morally right thing to do.
Because as you all know, Rule 34: if it exists, there's porn of it.
Is there porn of my VGA to HDMI adapter?
Yep.
Hopefully.
Well, there will be. There will be.
Well, get to it.
Next week.
Someday.
Not next week.
Time gadget. Next
The
time.
week after next.
Well, the week after next is gonna be the very special episode, which will be the camping episode when we will report live from France.
So not the official episode.
The what now?
Not an official episode.
Well, it's gonna be on the Radio Rothingham channel, so.
But it's going to be with interferences.
Well,
Why should it?
there's gonna be friends in it, yes.
Exactly.
Interferences,
Yeah.
which is obviously the worst possible thing.
It is.
It's
France.
we're gonna be like reporters on the battlefield. It's like, yeah,
Battlefield. Which battlefield? Battlefield 1.
yes.
Whom are we going to fight?
France. The entire country.
Germany. Why
No.
not Germany?
Because it will be in France.
Okay.
Can't fight
Okay.
Germany while we're in France.
Oh, we will also be in Germany. I mean,
Well, when we're in Germany, we'll fight Germany.
yep. And when we're in France, we'll fight France. And when we're on the border, then we just get incredibly confused.
Fight them both at once.
Yeah, exactly. You're like in the car, and you're like, okay, we're gonna cross the German border now, and you're like, okay, but for a split second, I'm gonna be incredibly confused because, you know, the front of the car is in France, Germany, but the back's still in France. I don't know.
It confused you so much that you didn't even know where's the front and where's the back.
Exactly. Maybe they're both in both countries all at once. And then you just, you know, crash the car because you're like, fuck it. It's not worth figuring out anymore. It's too much work. Anyways, does anyone have a topic they want to bring up right away?
Well, if no one else wants to start,
Who are you?
I think you wanted to talk about something.
Russ?
Yeah, yesterday during yesterday's stream, you were like, "Yeah, I wanted to talk about something." We're like,
That was
"I said it on the
yesterday.
podcast."
Today, Artrix. It's 2016.
That's
Exactly.
It is
It's 2016, and and it's taking notes to remember what you wanted to say. So 2015. So
Yeah.
I think
Oh, God.
I think you wanted to talk about something that was popular recently.
Mm-hmm.
of course,
Islam?
I was merely pretending to have forgotten it.
Oh,
Yeah, there's this thing, this application on a phone that many people are playing.
You mean Pokemon Go? How
Is it
many
Google
people
Exactly.
Maps?
Didn't we talk about it
Exactly.
already?
How many people died this time?
At
Not
least one.
enough.
There were two guys who fell off a cliff.
did they have a girl?
No, they also didn't die, so it's a pretty sad story.
Oh.
Yeah.
How do you fall off a cliff and not die?
Exactly. One of them
Yeah.
fell well, they said 20 feet, which is about 6 meters and something.
Yeah.
It's not a cliff.
And the other one got stuck in the middle of the cliff or on a bluff or something, and then they had to save him.
Oh.
Exactly.
How do you do this? How do you walk straight off an edge? I mean, are you so absorbed in your phone that you're not looking where you're walking at all?
Yes, I've seen, or heard rather, a recording of a guy who was going, and then he fell into a pond.
Yeah.
He was like, there's a hill, and there's a Pokemon on the hill. How do I get there? Sploosh.
Splish, exactly. But of course, the game has gotten very popular, and many new releases have bugs nowadays. So they patched the game, and to help out the performance, they actually deactivated the tracking feature. It was, in my opinion, the most selling feature of it, because if you wanted to get a Pokemon, you actually could know, this direction, and you have to walk this far to get to this Pokemon.
But did you say they activated or deactivated it?
Hey, they deactivated it to save server strain.
Oh, that's-
To the safe servers, because so many people are playing it, and they of course didn't expect that so many people would play it.
So they deactivated the only feature in the game which didn't work, but actually made the game somewhat playable when you couldn't look up the Pokemon on a map. And do you know what else they did?
Well, of course, when it first launched, at least I can remember, for like a week or two, you actually could see and track the Pokemon. Eventually, like after the update, it wasn't visible at first. So basically, it was deactivated, and then they completely removed the tracking feature.
That is just the most fantastic thing. They removed the most important feature of the damned game that actually made it playable. But also, there was another feature which was third party, which allowed people to find Pokemon.
Yeah, this was pretty much the response to them kinda not removing the feature to be able to track the Pokemon. Yeah, but go on.
So there was these websites which let you see where Pokemon were, and you could look it up and you say, "Oh, hey, there's a nice Pokemon down my street. I'm going to go see if I can catch it." So you still had to go out and get it. The map just told you where there were Pokemon, But now they have shut that down as well.
People are upset. And also rumors said, because people claimed that it after like the most recent update, it kind of became harder to catch Pokemon at the same level. So kind of like they reported, they're breaking more out and everything, and so on, and fleeing more. And of course, there were many people saying, "Yeah, you are just imagining, you are on a higher level and so on." So it's harder. And like yesterday, Niantic actually said there's a bug that actually makes Pokemon harder to catch. Yes, a bug.
That's just great.
Are you a bug?
They've made the game harder to play. They've made the Pokemon harder to catch, and they've made it nearly impossible to find them. And they were selling items in the store that made your tracking radar more effective.
Actually, that's not true.
I see no problem.
Oh,
no, the latter doesn't exist. You could actually buy Pokeballs. You can buy lures, and you can buy, I think, how are those called? Lucky eggs and incubators. But
Well, if people were saying that, well, the Pokeballs anyway. People were saying, well, I bought all this stuff and now I can't use it because I can't actually find any Pokemon, and they feel griefed and
yeah,
they
that's
feel
that's
ripped
true.
off.
But of course, since they reported that there's actually a bug that how it says a new bug affecting draw accuracy, that the odds of escape. Yeah, that the odds of escape are increased and it omits the XP bonus after catching the Pokemon. So basically, you have to farm more, or kinda, you have to purchase the in-game stuff. So you have to buy the Pokeballs. Kinda like it's like they made the game harder that people might buy more things because it's not like there were millions of people making them 10 million a day.
Oh, of course not. No, they weren't making
But
it
no,
for-
they of course they thought like that's I don't know if it's enough money, so let's incentivize people to spend more. But of course,
Oh,
people
okay.
kind of catched on that more and more people reported that kind of it's harder to catch, and it seems that like usage numbers went down, so less and less people played. So they they posted a tweet about that there's a bug and they're gonna fix it.
How interesting.
Talking about the GPS egg and the Poke Radar, uh, there was an article, and the article was something like, Pokemon Go creators are wrong about the cheating.
Is playing Pokemon Go with a drone cheating? Because some people do that.
No, that makes it accessible to cripples. That's not cheating. And fat people.
I think the entire defense of that article's author was that in every game there's people who use cheat codes.
That's a good defense.
By
Yes.
the way, Blizzard's been banning people from Overwatch for using aimbots.
Well, they can do that. I
Well,
mean,
yeah.
it's also a good reason.
People use aimbots in all video games, so
And
we should
then
just
get
let
banned.
them all play, right?
Yeah, obviously.
That's
Also speed hacks and wall hacks.
And also, they've been banning people for disconnecting from matches.
yeah, that's a bit different.
It's
They
Blizzard.
are reasoning that people
See-
disconnect from matches so that possible loss would not count into their profile.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's just an accident.
Well, see, that's Blizzard. They did that in World of Warcraft, back when they still had players. They just can ban thousands of people simply because they have millions of people playing.
Yeah.
The notion of banning players for disconnecting is a bit half. It's that's a really gray area.
Yeah, their reasoning is that it's basically cheating because when you disconnect from a losing match, technically the loss shouldn't count into your
Mhm.
profile. So they basically consider that cheating as well to disconnect.
What we
Well,
did.
there's a simple solution, and of all people, League of Legends did it. When somebody leaves the match, just give them a lever point, because that's exactly what happened in League of Legends. You have wins, you have losses, and you have leaves.
Yeah, they've added that kind of mechanic in a few games in Mech Warrior and in the competitive mode of Counter-Strike Go. They're like, oh, yeah, you can leave a competitive match, but it's going to count as a double loss. Like, so it counts worse than just losing.
Well, in
And
that
also,
case,
I think it deranks you in Counter-Strike.
yeah, in that case, I think just showing how many times someone left a match mid match is better, because there are situations where you're like, yeah, I have to do this thing. Like you're in the middle of a match and you get a phone call or whatever, and it's really important. Well, you gotta leave. You can't just stick around and play. And in that case, just having the notification, well, this guy just left this many times. That seems fair. I mean, the alternative is like you said, giving people who leave mid-match, penalty. And I guess to most people it's obvious that if someone has like an absurd number of, leave points, that they're doing so to make sure that they don't lose as much.
There's a problem I see with banning people from a game they paid full price for just because they decided to leave the game a few times. They paid the price of admission. They can leave whenever the hell they want. But if you want to have it on public record, put it on public record and shame them for their unsportsman behavior.
Because that's essentially what it is.
Yeah, but how can you differentiate between people that actually are like rage quitting because they're losing, and people that have just a spotty connection and basically, disconnect because
I
the
think the
connection is
reasoning
crappy?
was that someone with bad connections shouldn't be playing online games anyway. People who defend these decisions say it, not Blizzard themselves, but people who defend them.
Obviously, it's the people from the forums. I love the people from the forums.
Yeah.
Oh,
But yes, speaking of Blizzard, since we are with Overwatch, they have like this new summer event.
Oh, that's
Totally not based on the Rio Olympic Games of
Nope.
2016, because they didn't pay this licensing fees. Totally not based on it, but
Nope.
they have some exclusive items that only drop from those summer crates.
Okay.
And the only way to get those crates is either through leveling up or just plain out buying those crates.
Yeah,
And you
that's
can't
how
buy
we get great.
and you can't buy any of those items with the in-game currency.
Obviously.
So you have
to buy
either
the
to level
crates.
up a lot, enough, mind you, for a game that you paid already $60 or $40 for.
That's
yeah.
exactly the model that Valve uses in all their games.
Not really, because in Valve you actually have the option to buy the item flat out. If you're like, oh, I like this item, I'm just gonna pay, I don't know, $5 or $7 for this item.
Not special event items.
Exactly.
Also, they totally stole RD from last week's episode because the Russian Drug Olympics. it's obviously based off that, because the only thing I've seen are the Russian uniforms so far, but it's probably because of what's her face, Russian heavy girl.
You mean Zarya?
Oh yeah, that.
Oh, well, the Australian team is already winning the Rio Olympics. They've already got the gold medal in most athletes robbed.
They're doing great.
Actually, Zarya is not the only one who gets a uniform. Also, Lucio has a uniform, who's from Brazil.
Who cares about Lucio?
Are they not all getting summer games?
No.
I've seen Tracer in the British uniform.
British.
I saw some people on the internet complaining that her uniform had a tongue. I really love how butthurt people get over Tracer and her sexiness.
That's why I love Overwatch.
Well, I'm surprised that Curly isn't completely offended by her British accent. I mean, she says love like 60 times in a 2-minute conversation.
Oh, you love?
Chip chip cheerio, love.
Stop!
Also, Widowmaker gets a French uniform, Trobbjorn gets a Swedish uniform, then DVA gets a Korean uniform.
That's the nationalities, correct?
Yeah, and McCree gets a freaking American flag for a poncho.
Of course.
Doesn't Mercy get like isn't she supposed to be German or?
No, she's Swiss.
Mercy is Swiss. She also has one. Yeah.
No, actually,
She
but
doesn't
it's
get
not,
anything.
it's not really.
I think McCree should get Confederacy flag as a poncho.
McCree.
Yeah, but those the three skins like Zarya, Tracer, and what's her name? Zarya, Tracer, and Lucio all got like completely new design, legendary skins, while the other characters pretty much just got recolored skins, just simple recolors of already existing skins, which is kind of a bummer because
that's pretty unfair. Lucio does not deserve a special skin.
Well, Lucio is Brazilian, and the Olympic Games do take place in Brazil.
Okay, fine.
I guess they just didn't want to bother to design even more original outfits because people would just buy the crates anyway. It's not like they teased some nice outfits with the sprays.
They're going to be constantly adding stuff. Well, okay, not constantly, but they're going to be adding new content to that game until it goes out of fashion.
Exactly. They're gonna milk this cow until, well, like you said.
I mean, just look at how long they milked the original StarCraft.
They didn't.
This game is designed to be milked from the ground up.
Yeah, except there's a defense that the original StarCraft was good.
Most people played the original StarCraft on a pirate version because they stopped making that, like, they stopped selling prints a decade ago. And then, although they did start reselling it digitally.
They played it on the pirate version for the single player and probably on the Spawn for multiplayer.
Mm-hmm. Because you didn't have to. You
didn't have to pay if you just wanted to play multiplayer.
Them were the days.
See, this is how the philosophy changed from back then. You had a single-player game with campaign, hours and hours of campaign, which was something you paid for, and then as a bonus, you had the multiplayer. Nowadays, it's multiplayer-based and oriented everything, and story is an addition, if you're lucky.
To be fair, Doom was made in the classical form, where the campaign came first and the multiplayer was just a bonus.
That's very true.
But Doom is overall a good game, so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Doom 4's multiplayer though is a bit tacked on.
It is. I mean,
and then that's how it used to be. Honestly,
they did the worst possible thing with the new Doom multiplayer.
Oh my!
They balanced it.
Yeah,
they made it more like a contemporary shooter.
Yeah.
It's like you got a load. That was a weird thing about
But
Doom.
I want to get my BFG and kill everything on the map.
Yeah, exactly. That was fun. Whenever that weapon spawns, everyone's just rushing for it, and whoever gets it first basically wins.
Yeah, whoever manages to camp the BFG is victorious.
Well, not necessarily. I mean, I remember Euro tournament in which you try and get the Redeemer, and people would still either snipe it or just plain dodge it.
Well, people in Unreal they always put the Redeemer in a really, really awkward to get to place, which was completely exposed, and everyone on the map would see you going for it. So you would just be running there for the super weapon under a hail of bullets. It's like, this isn't gonna work.
Yeah, except for Deck 16, where it was like all the way on top, and so you basically could just drop down and just fire that fucker immediately. So as long as you manage to get up there, you can do a nice sneak attack.
Well,
yes. Just killing everyone, then just drop down and drop the Redeemer and just walk away. Like, don't mind me, just mowing everyone down with the thermonuclear explosion.
No, that's just mean.
It is, such as gaming.
It's almost like it's a murder simulator.
Nonsense. It's obviously about teaching the virtues of friendship.
Yes.
Isn't that? Go ahead.
Speaking of the virtues of friendship, apparently that very popular liberal cartoon had all its episodes leaked again.
You mean Steven Universe?
That's true.
Yeah, that's.
Those leaks. You mean the leaks that was that leak?
What?
Those leaks, yeah.
Lee,
And the fandom is currently suffering a meltdown.
as
because-
usual, as every fucking episode.
But this time it's because the creators released, well, I think this episode was officially released, an episode where they basically criticize their overly zealous fans. Like,
Oh.
yeah, you should not kill people just because they have different opinions than you.
No, of course.
You what?
Instead, you should just shove them into a diamond and keep them stored away for 1,000,000 years, where they will be forgotten about and die in obscurity.
Oh yeah.
So, which is
Sounds
almost, which is a fate worse than
Well,
death. if You
To
ask
be
me.
fair, this was done to the one who wanted to kill those others for not following her progressive views.
So what exactly happened? Also spoilers. So what exactly happened in
Yes,
Well,
this episode?
spoilers happened.
Basically, Steven discovers a gem that was locked away for some reason. So he uses them. It turns out it's one of the old friends of the crystal gems that went missing for an unknown reason. They were first friends, but then this new gem called bismuth, because bismuth is the edgiest of all minerals,
It is.
basically
It
reveals
makes fractals.
that she has this secret weapon stashed away that can basically wipe out all the opposition, basically kill them even more, so to say, twice kill them. Steven, of course, says that it's wrong to do something like this to others.
Unless you don't like them.
Yeah, just because you don't like them. So Bismuth goes apeshit on Steven. Steven ends up stabbing her.
Yay, my
Well, we
lad.
find out that Moses' blade can harm a gem's body, but don't shatter the gem.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that they had mostly implied for the entire show that gems were basically indestructible.
Yeah, but this weapon that Bismuth had could basically kill them permanently.
I did say basically, and we also know from the show that gems can be smashed. So
Oh yeah,
it's very
the weapon
contrary.
itself is just a giant earring puncher. That's what it is. That's what it looks like. It's a giant earring puncher.
Well, more like a jackhammer, but
Sounds
yes.
horrific, Asta.
It's a pneumatic hammer, yes. That's a spiked pneumatic hammer.
So basically, the idea is that just because other people have different views than you have, it doesn't mean you should go around and killing them. And of
No.
course, the Steven Universe fandom refuses to accept this.
What are you talking about?
But
Why would this?
but Seklov, there are good people and bad people and good tactics and bad people and
Well, yeah, basically, Bismuth
There's
believes
no bad tactics, right?
exactly. Basically, Bismuth believes that there are no bad tactics, only bad targets.
oh yeah, that was the quote I was looking for.
Yeah.
This is not the
Wasn't-
quote
wasn't
you
that-
are looking for.
Wasn't that basically Movie Bob that said that? He was like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Movie
Oh.
blob.
What's that movie, Bob? That said that? Oh God,
yeah. He
I
really
didn't-
went.
He's
downhill.
friendly.
that's just
The bad thing about Movie Bob was that when he just started out with this whole internet thing, he seemed reasonable.
Yeah, he
Like-
actually used to be pretty smart. Used to be.
Mhm.
Then the fame got into his head, and he became full retard.
he just
mean-
seemed like a kind of odd, chubby guy making silly videos and somehow managing success from it.
Well, he
Then
did
he
used
got
to make,
fired.
yeah, he did make somewhat interesting videos where he was just talking, but then he started to do the whole yeah, I'm the game over thing and I'm to go and fight against the anti-thinker and here are some shitty After Effects.
That was basically the moment when he went full retard.
Yeah,
I
that's
thought
when he went from just some dude talking about pop culture to, hey, I'm just some retard doing pretend.
And talking about pop
Action
culture.
I thought that silly, weird stuff was why he was actually popular at all.
No,
No, that,
he
or at
actually,
least not in my opinion.
he actually became popular while he was still just talking.
Ah. Oh well. Everyone has their 15 minutes, right? Or
Oh, we are talking right now. Why are we not famous yet?
we'll never be famous.
Them about us.
We don't
it's-
toe the line.
It's a sad thing about the world, you know. Movie Bob gets a shit ton of viewers and shit for essentially being the feminist, and we're just sitting here putting out all this entertainment and
But
This
Panboy,
is entertainment.
what line? I don't see any line.
I wonder how Radio Rothingham got famous while they were still around. Maybe we are not as edgy as them.
That's true.
we gotta be more edgy.
Well, we are not edgy enough because we don't have Vessel.
Wait, you think that if we had Wessel, we'd be more edgy?
Which one is Wessel?
Is there something more edgy than Vessel?
Gizmet.
How is Wessel edgy?
Exactly.
That's pretty edge, bro. That is so edge.
He's low-key edgy.
And also basically Wessel was a regular of the Artrix streams, but then he just sort of stopped.
He was
Being
he was
on
also
the
the regular of Radio Rothingham.
Yeah, he was the original co-host of the original Radio Rothingham. That lasted for 2 episodes.
Yeah.
Good show. Good show.
That one even.
Good.
Obviously, Artrix, you just chose the co-host badly. I mean, come on, picking Artrix of all people.
That is,
Okay.
by the way, a very lovely thong.
Tong. What?
Yes, referring to the picture in the chat.
Oh,
That's
Tracer's
the
Tong.
Tracer one.
Gotta love Blizzard. I mean, I hate them, but you gotta love
Yes, I loved Blizzard once, but then it's like if you marry somebody, and then 5 years down the line, you realize they weigh 200 kilos and don't love you, and you don't love them, and every second you spend together is terrifying agony.
I still can't forgive them for changing Warcraft from a pretty good strategy game into a boring MMO. Well, MMOs are boring generally.
Into a MMO, which they then changed into a boring railroad MMO.
Oh, Blizzard. Blizzard.
There was a progression of bad in this case. In other cases, like Diablo, it was straight bad.
You mean Diablo 3?
Yes,
Yeah.
indeed.
I keep hearing people say they patched out the bad. I haven't went back to try because it was so bad.
Well, by patching out the bad, they mostly mean they shut down the auction.
Mm-hmm.
Where you sold and bought stuff for your money. And also, I guess they added like new levels. If you get to the level cap, then you start getting, I don't know what they are called, Paragon levels, I guess.
Oh god.
Yes, exactly.
So you just get to level 110. It's
Yeah,
you're still just leveling up.
that's how it works.
Yeah.
It's Blizzard GUIs. Such good.
Very
See, this-
well.
I don't
Yeah.
I don't play any Blizzard games now. I was
I played the old ones, and of course, World of Warcraft, but only the first 3 expansions.
I'm sure there's some people who still enjoy the current stuff Blizzard put out. I hear that new shooter, the one with the heroes in it. I hear that's
Panboy.
popular.
Panboy, yes, mostly people that are born after.
Oh no.
Yeah, the people who did not experience the good Blizzard games.
It all makes sense.
People who are in many cases younger than the good Blizzard games.
People who can barely be considered human anymore.
Exactly. For this exact reason.
Well, to be honest, they're asking us not to consider them human. It seems to be a current trend.
Oh,
Nobody people don't seem to want to identify as what they are anymore.
Mhm.
It's very, I find it very bizarre.
It's filthy, filthy heresy.
Oh yeah, it's modern age where you have people going around saying that the term Slav is a racist term.
Like, people
You're
are
racist.
I'm a
saying
proud Slav, you shitlords.
Yeah, there was a thing on forums about, well, basically somebody said something about living in a Slav land, and immediately somebody came in with a wall of text on how Slav is a racist term.
I hope the person then threw into their face that they themselves are
Well,
Slav.
it's like, it got better. It was like, you shouldn't use the term Slav, just use Eastern European.
Oh dear.
Not all you.
And
not
and
all,
then the collective sides of Poland, Czech Republic, and Slovakia turned to the post.
Yes, you should never tell. That's something
Not
I learned
all-
recently. You should never tell someone from one of these countries that they're Eastern European. They fucking hate
not
that.
all Eastern Europeans are Slavic, by the way. Hungarians, for
Also,
example,
Shut up, you
Romanians.
filthy Slav.
Hungarians, by the way, are not Slavic at all. Also, I am very suspicious of Romanians. And Bulgarians.
not all of them are gypsies. Hashtag not all Romanians.
All the ones I've met are.
Oh, speaking of minorities, something happened in the UK recently. I'm surprised that Astra hasn't brought it up. You know what? Let's make it an Astra topic. So, Xaverius, bring it up.
Yes.
Have to.
It's the Astra Hour with Astra.
So, Astra, tell us about Black Lives Matter and the UK. 1, 3, go.
Yeah. Error 404 Astra not found.
Oh, okay. Well, that concludes today's Astra Time with Astra.
Go to sleep.
I think she disconnected or
Yeah.
something.
But very stealthily.
Yeah,
That's
I
pretty
did
depressing.
hear the disconnect sound, but
Disconnect Astra.
yeah, disconnect Astra. Anyways, we can do it for her. So apparently, the very kind and very compassionate and mannered people of Black Lives Matter decided it was a very good idea for their PR to go and make sure that no one in the UK could actually get to work or home or get people to the hospital so they don't die immediately.
Uh-huh.
Come on, it's Britain. They have NHS. It wouldn't save the people anyway.
That's true, but yeah, going around and keeping people from getting to where they want to be, it's a shit thing to do.
They had a road blocking protest again.
Yep.
In the
time it was
UK of all.
Yeah.
But
You know,
why? Why
because-
the UK?
Yeah, because blacks
Because
being
there
killed
are
by
Muslim
cops
enough.
is such a widespread issue in the UK. I mean,
Because all those UK policemen running around have. Oh wait, no.
They don't have guns.
it wasn't that one of the
They
things
have
about UK
nightsticks.
police that they typically don't carry weapons.
No,
Yeah.
they don't.
Guns.
So basically, what they did was take a problem that does not affect them and then search for retribution from people who had nothing to do with said problem.
Mhm. But you see, it's society keeping me down. So now we're just gonna go and block the streets so they can experience how it is to live with constant roadblocks in your.
I'm not going to pretend there aren't class problems in the UK where poor people get stuck in shitty situations like they do everywhere else. But I'm pretty sure it's not like this exclusive to black people problem in the UK.
Well,
I'm pretty sure that the UK never had a problem with black slavery.
Well, they did own some colonies, so chances are there were probably some slaves.
there were definitely slaves in the British Empire and probably on the British Isles as well. But
Yeah, they were probably
to
the
be
locals.
fair- To be fair, apparently the United Kingdom was also one of the first countries that recognized, you know what, this slavery thing is shit, and we think it's so shit that are gonna go around and keep other people from doing it. So basically, you know, imagine it's like the 1700s and you think, oh yes, slavery's awesome, I'm gonna go and do some slavery. You just, you know, fair
I'm
and
going to
disease.
do some slavery right now.
It's awesome.
Sure.
So you're just cruising down the oceans and then you see a British flag and you're like, oh shit, man, oh shit, hide the slaves, it's the British. But the British are completely, you know, they never, no. It's not their fault.
They would never just cannon your ship because they didn't like you.
Yeah.
The British
Yeah.
Navy was never known for doing such things.
They're
Or
very
for
friendly.
consisting largely of pirates.
They would also never be like, oh, your ship got cannoned. Must have been pirates.
Well, to be fair, most of the British Navy was consisting of pirates.
How dare you call them pirates? They're privateers.
Exactly. Privateers. Mercenaries people who worked for the government for a fee.
As you do. I mean, those ships are not going to repair themselves, and those cannonballs are not going to restock themselves.
Isn't that still the case, more or less? Isn't the government just like, here's a big bag of money, now do this? I mean,
Well,
Maybe in Bolivia.
If a road needs building, they're like, yeah, you guys seem pretty cheap, here's money, now build.
no, the British and the Irish governments don't work like that.
Oh.
That's why they have shit roads.
It is.
So they actually maintain their own operational facilities and everything.
Yeah, no. Very little work is done by contractors in England and Ireland. And that's upset people for quite a while, because on the few occasions where contract work happens, it happens so much faster than the government. People are like, why the fuck aren't you hiring outside companies more often? And then the government was, well, it costs too much. So, okay, so you paid more for this company to build this road in 6 months than you've been paying all of that staff building that road for the last 20 years. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
And no.
By hiring home workers, like workers from home country, they do help with unemployment or preventing unemployment.
If they pay a contract company that's hiring local staff, it's exactly the same thing. That argument is invalid.
Yeah, but how do you make sure they'll hire local staff?
Of course they will. It's cheaper.
Yeah, you can put it in the contract.
You can put it in the contract, or you can just realize that they're not going to airfare in a bunch of workers to build a road. They'll hire local. It just makes more sense. Also, if you were supplying enough contract work to a company, they'll have a local branch. And then if they stop being good, you'll stop paying them. Or actually, our government probably wouldn't stop paying. They'd probably keep
Or they
paying them.
will just keep workers from Ukraine as they do over here.
Well, the Ukraine's far away.
But not for Slovakia, because so basically Ukraine is Slovakia's Poland or
rather Mexico. Yeah, one of the reasons why people over here really dislike the Ukrainians, and many actually wish that Russia will conquer them.
I thought Russia did conquer them, or did they pull out?
Well, part of it.
Well, it's not official yet.
They are working on it.
Depends on who you're asking. I mean, Russia's pretty much like, we pretty much integrated the Crimea into our territory. It's part of Russia now. I mean, yeah, they had like this big ceremony and shit. Putin was like, yeah, Crimea is ours now. It's now an integral part of Russia.
So they pretty much did then, yeah.
But the international community is like, no, you didn't. Also, the Ukraine is also like, no, you didn't. So yeah, that's why it's in like this limbo.
They just need to send more
limbo.
tanks.
which is kind of hypocritical, seeing that many of the countries that refused to accept Crimea as part of Russia accepted Kosovo as an independent nation, despite the fact that it's basically the identical situation.
Wait, it is. Because
Yeah.
isn't Kosovo its own independent nation right now?
Kosovo is Serbia. Kosovo is legal.
Oh yeah,
Kosovo
that's
was
true.
a part of Serbia, which got overfilled with Albanian immigrants, and then the Albanian immigrants decided to make their own nation.
Isn't Kosovo currently a part of Bosnia and Herzegovina, or whatever that is?
Kinda around that area.
Oh, so
Artrix.
it's
It's called
not part.
Herzegovina.
Yeah, I sorry that I can't into what is Baltic nations. It's like
No.
that corner of Europe. I don't
No,
give a shit about.
Artrix, that's basic geography. Have you not had in elementary a subject called geography where you
Yes,
learned
but I
all the
didn't
states?
care.
They are Balkan, not Baltic.
Okay.
Also that. Artrix, you have some
That's-
significant gaps.
That's how much I care. Also, I that was the 90s, so the entire political situation there was much different, anyways.
I'm pretty sure you was right in the middle of the war.
Exactly.
You,
I mean,
you probably even learned about the war.
Yeah, because my friend was from Yugoslavia, and he was like, "Oh no, there's war," and I was like, "Oh, it'll be fine."
Well,
But then
it was
everyone got
fine for
killed.
Yugoslavia.
And then a genocide happened.
But it'll be fine.
That's Balkan. You don't like that's genocide every other week. Come on.
You know, as a 10-year-old kid, you're like, I don't fucking care.
But the point is, logically, if you acknowledge Kosovo as an independent country, you should also acknowledge Crimea as part of Russia, because the conditions of their changing states are basically the same.
Well, Crimea is a part of Russia.
Yeah.
It was just one of the presidents. Was it Khrushchev? Was like, hey, Ukrainians, you are part of the Soviet Union forever anyway, so here have Crimea.
Yeah. Only
And then Soviet Union kind of failed, and well.
Well, wasn't it
Silly
the whole
Soviets.
thing about Crimea that it
Although
was basically
technically,
the Soviet Union being all like, you know what, we're just gonna drop all these Russians in all our territories. So even if we break up, there will still be a shit on the
No,
Russians. all over
the Russians
place.
already were there. It was just like it was a gesture to the Ukraine, and because Ukraine was supposed to be in Soviet Union forever, for all the time, as they used to say, then yeah, why not, right? It's not going to go away. Except then it all broke up, and then Crimea went away, and suddenly Russians did not have the biggest port they used to have. Oops.
Yep, that's basically the entire reason why this whole war thing is going on. Russia just wants, more power, more ports, more everything.
Russia is just missing the 60s before it was given away.
All right. Any other topics that we want to discuss?
well,
I think we didn't quite finish talking about Black Lives Matter in the UK, because that's
because they don't
basically-
matter.
Well, that's
No one
because
matters.
Astra was supposed to do research on that one, and then Astra disconnected.
What did they actually do? Like, did they block roads?
Yep.
What roads?
They
For how
mostly
long?
the M25, the orbital of London, some other major roads.
They're blocking
all
orbital
across-
roads.
What
Yeah.
exactly was the goal of this protest?
That's what I'm wondering still. What was the
Kill
goal?
many white
Well,
people.
I
The
did
goal
read some-
was that Black Lives Matter, Artrix.
I
The
read some
goal
quotes
was
basically
that
saying
white
that
is gonna pay.
they basically made the argument that they want to make the people they perceive as oppressors, which is of course the white people, they want to make them feel like they're being oppressed and hindered in their pursuit for happiness. And
Oh, well.
obviously the way to do that is by pissing everyone off.
Well, England doesn't have the American Constitution, so the pursuit of happiness is not a lawfully protected right. So I don't think it matters.
Come on, it's England, the heart of the Industrial Revolution, which was based on people being extremely unhappy.
Mm-hmm. It's like, hey, you had a job here? Oh well, we just reindustrialized this entire car plant. So no, nobody works anymore. It's all machines. Fuck off.
It's almost like the situation we are in now. Machines are taking away people's job, and soon enough, everyone will be unemployed.
And then everybody will be equal. Nice. Except, for the machines, they are going to take much higher pay than we do.
It is kind of funny that people are still demanding everyone work, and then you look to the job market and you're like, well, let's see. This canning plant is entirely automated. This metal cutting plant is entirely automated. This car manufacturing plant is entirely automated. What job am I supposed to take?
Yeah, I mean, the machines already even took the cashier's job away.
Yeah, go work in McDonald's.
Self-checkout lanes are buggy as shit, so...
Go work in McDonald's. I can't. It's entirely automated.
Oh, you can work in the kitchen still. That hasn't been automated yet.
It's not entirely automated yet, but give it time.
And not over here. Like over here, the positions you can get are programmers, the peon jobs in factories, and CNC machines operators, because apparently nobody wanted to learn a trade, and now there's a demand for people who actually know a trade.
This is, by the way, how the Roman Empire collapsed.
Yes.
Only instead of machines, it was slaves. Basically, all job positions in Rome were filled with slaves, and then the Roman citizens were all left poor and unemployed.
They were like, slave lives matter, and then it all came tumbling down.
They realized that, wait a minute, this business model where we basically have people work for free,
and all we have to do is keep them healthy and alive, which is a lot cheaper than paying someone to have a luxurious life.
Yeah, the thing about the Romans is that they didn't exactly do that.
There are stories about Rome being like the hedonistic capital of the world.
Yeah, but not exactly
at the end of its lifetime.
No, not the slaves. I mean, anyone who got paid.
Yeah, Rome was ridiculously luxurious and wealthy.
It started off all right, but then they came to depend on the slaves a bit too much.
Yeah.
Also, that there was the force of barbarians who really wanted in, but they it
barbarian lives matter.
Barbarians, exactly. Barbarian lives matter. Except, if you let everybody in the Roman Empire, then nobody is in the Roman Empire.
And the barbarians just wanted to come and culturally enrich the Romans.
And you told me not to use this joke last time.
That's because you use it every 15 seconds.
The problem with barbarians was that Romans could not feasibly include them all in the empire, because then they wouldn't have anybody to exploit.
But try to explain that to Fräulein Merkel.
It was like yeah, sure. If you let you on the other bank of Danube in, and yeah, you'll get all the culture and stuff. But what are we going to get out of it? You have no resources for the damned.
That's what it's all about.
And that's why they stayed in Pannonia.
The world is legitimately facing a major problem with the notion of massive automation coming, and cheap and multifunctional automation.
Well, for one, I'm looking forward to the cyberpunk future.
Like, okay, if you look at the developments in humanoid robots, they're coming along. They're almost here. You'll be walking down the street one day soon, and you'll be carrying your bag, your groceries like a scrub by yourself, and then just walking past you at a steady 4.5 miles an hour will be a bipedal robot with also carrying groceries, and you'll be like,
Omnix.
I'll be like, what? Why don't I have a robot carrying my groceries? And then you'll go and buy a robot.
So,
You can afford it, that is.
So for it to be a real cyberpunk future, we'll have to figure out how to have constant rain.
Yeah, that's very important.
No, unless it's a desert planet cyberpunk future.
Oh yes, or one of those utopian ones where crime is non-existent, so any criminal can do anything, like in Demotion Man.
Crime is non-existent, so people just get really stoned in the basement to try to relive a better time where there's actually something happening.
Or you're just sitting, chilling at home, you're just sitting there playing video, whatever, and then the police barges in, you're like, WTF, me? And they're like, yeah, we're arresting you for crime you didn't commit yet, but you're going to do it.
Well, Artrix, you are not just playing video games in the cyberpunk future. You're making out with a holographic prostitute.
Yep, that too. So instead of playing video, you're just making out with your holographic prostitute, and then the police barges in and say that you're going to commit a crime in the future.
Seriously, what you are describing right now is basically
a Brave
New World.
Wait, what?
Brave New World by Huxley.
Oh yeah. Well, that was a cyberpunk thing also. Kind of.
Did you have a subject when we started, and then I told back to talk?
Which was?
I don't know. I interrupted you.
That was the one about the Steven Universe fandom going.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Also, really bizarre Toy Story merchandise. But I don't think that is appropriate for this stream.
Oh no, tell us.
Was browsing YouTube and found this ad for a Japan exclusive Toy Story toy.
Okay, it's already good.
Go on.
Basically, Toy Story characters as Transformers. Imagine Woody and the T-Rex, the pig, the dog, the horse, all combining into a giant robot.
I'll definitely put a video in the video description.
And then also there is Buzz Lightyear, who can combine into a giant robot with a Martian, a spaceship, and a space station. And then these two can combine into one even bigger giant robot. And by the way, there is a story included into it.
As if I needed a story for that.
To be fair, it's later explained that it's just some children playing, but it's done in the style of those, how do you call them, those comics that move...
Motion comics?
Yeah, in the form of a motion comic. It's told in the form of a motion comic.
I would love to see a Japanese style Toy Story movie with all the transforming robots and the Megazords. Which is how does a robot interact with its 6 parts as individual entities and then get assembled into one?
Well, it's basically like fusion.
Do they have like some trippy headspace thing coming on, or do they all still keep their individual personalities but are a leg?
Well, the combined form of those two giant robots, which are already combined from various parts, does have Buzz Lightyear's head poking from its chest.
As you do. Like, oh god, that sounds like some schizophrenic nonsense.
Too bad we can't play the actual ad on this stream, but I can at least try linking it.
Artrix can play it if he wants.
Yeah, but I'm not going to. Because for one thing, you guys
for
won't
your
be able to...
visual viewing, then.
He would find a way to fuck it up anyway.
I'll put it in the video description so people can watch at their own leisure. I mean, the link is still in the chat, so yeah.
Yay.
But well,
Amazing technology.
Here it is.
the
Speaking of,
Japanese make some of the best bizarro world stuff.
Mhm. That's what I like about Japan. They never cease to amaze me with their crazy shit.
I mean, I did see something similar, but that was a Chinese bootleg. Like there was a Thomas the Tank Engine Transformer, but that was a Chinese bootleg. This is official. This is an official toy that Disney gave a license to and approved.
Sounds perfect.
Obviously,
Yes.
that's going to go into the video description as well. We put it in public, I suppose. Yeah, there we go. It's the Disney ad. And that's it.
Yay.
Disney JP.
Did I see anything interesting recently? Thankfully, I can't
Dang.
think of anything horrible I heard of happening this week.
Me neither. Except for the circumcision that was going on in refugee camps, and the guy got arrested for performing unlicensed circumcisions that went horribly wrong.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Well,
I guess they couldn't afford any disinfection.
actually, if you know anything about the practice of Jewish circumcision, they often don't bother with anything.
Yeah.
I always thought that Jews were a cleanly folk.
Come on,
Yeah,
come on.
that-
Using disinfection is haram. I mean, no. What's the word? Kosher.
Well,
Doesn't
kosher
go-
means that something is pure.
Yeah.
This would mean not kosher.
Is it? Okay. So what's the opposite for Jews?
I have no idea. I'm not.
I just call it haram. They are the same religion anyway.
Their version
Yeah,
1.0.
The free meat from one root.
But no, yeah, circumcisions go terrible all the time. This happening in a refugee camp isn't particularly strange. In fact, it's probably only got noticed because it happened in a refugee camp.
But yeah, some
Okay.
kids were taken to an hospital because they were completely fucked up.
May or may not be related. There was an incident in Czech Republic where there was a guy with a knife, and he was yelling Allahu Akbar, and the police is currently searching for him.
Well, that's just lovely.
And I didn't even see it on the news. So
It was in
there's-
Czech Republic.
So
Come
yeah,
on.
there's two possibilities. Either we don't give a shit about Czech Republic.
You don't.
Yeah, that's.
I mean, we are bigger than you, but we are not in your close neighborhood. So yeah.
Yeah,
But-
and you're only like a fraction of. Okay, that's not true. You're like 8 million, right?
What?
There's
Your
8 million
population.
Czechs.
About 11 or 12 million.
Okay, well that's still 5 million less than us.
That's almost as many as live in London.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, London is a country from the Brexit results. So yeah.
That's gonna be its own country. Well, it's already got its own international airport.
I've been in that
inside of
airport.
London. London City Airport. It was very exciting.
I have now drawn a Venusaur.
Speaking of London,
Okay.
the European Union demands that the UK pays the EU 25 billion euro before leaving the E EU.
That's a pretty big number.
That's basically extortion.
Is this to try to make them not leave the EU, or is it just to be a big fuck you to England for leaving the EU?
Probably both.
Probably
Yeah,
both. And
why not? Why not both?
After they win.
But you know, with the Brexit, we will save 350 million a week. I mean, not we, but the British.
Well, if there's any truth to that, they'll make back that billion in no time. If there's any truth to it.
I mean, they already drifted all the way to Greenland. I'm sure they can just jam a pipe in their on their shore and get all the oils, all of it.
Look, they can just print more money, right?
Or
Yeah.
that never backfired. They can just turn on the presses and create all the banknotes. Also,
Yeah.
okay, please do that. go ahead, do it.
Artrix,
Goes.
if you have at your disposal the stocks and the printing process, technically you are not making counterfeit money.
No, you're just tanking the economy.
Yeah, it's a difference.
Like, this money's genuine. Every bill we print devalues every other bill by a microscopic amount. So we'll print millions.
Because they're all microscopic, so it doesn't really matter, right?
Yeah.
That's how the economy works.
It worked great for Germany after the war, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yep.
Extremely.
Totally.
I heard stories of Germans going out in the street with wheelbarrows full of money to pay for
Just
bread.
like bread, yeah.
And then someone would steal the wheelbarrow and leave the money.
Yeah, because the wheelbarrow cost more than the money were worth.
It was more valuable.
Well, see, here's the difference. The wheelbarrow had a fixed value that wasn't changing.
Every 2 hours. Yeah, that was some funny shit.
Well,
Not with the people at the time, of course. But in
No.
hindsight, it was very funny.
Well, they just had to change their thinking of the economy. Ignore the money, just trade in wheelbarrows.
Well, that's typically what happens in countries with very high inflation rates. I mean, in Zimbabwe, they basically started.
The
to
only
just
problem is that in
barter.
Zimbabwe there's nothing else, so they couldn't very well trade.
Well, there was stuff, but instead of barter, they just started to use real currencies like the US dollar or euros.
Oh, did
Or
you use other
probably-
countries' money? Yeah.
Yeah.
Aren't we all glad that our depressions are over for now?
For now.
Unless you live in Britain.
But you don't, so it doesn't matter.
It doesn't.
They can sink the economy, and I'll just buy very cheap 6-port USB chargers for fractional price.
This is Artrix's master plan on how to get rich
Exactly.
on this crisis.
You just buy a bunch of USB port chargers.
Yeah, so it's like, yes, devalue the pound, do it. I'll buy all this stuff. And then they're like, yeah, import tariffs. Oh man. That would pretty much shoot them in the foot though. If they, if you just want to import shit from the UK and they're like, yeah. Except it wouldn't be the UK doing that. It would be like the EU. They'd be like, yeah, you can buy you can buy cheap stuff from the UK. Don't be silly.
You wouldn't steal a UK.
Oh, I will. Just watch. I'm gonna do it right now. So let's see. Let's draw UK.
Are you doing a new Poland ball?
No. This time I'm just literally drawing UK
He's
from memory.
doing exclusively UK ball.
I don't fucking know what the UK looks like. It's a very rough drawing. and there's
From
like
memory?
there's like a giant net.
Oh God, that is the best UK I've seen in some time.
Manchester.
Don't forget
The
yours.
problem with the UK right now, you forgot like the Irish, like the Ireland. No, North Ireland is a thing.
Don't worry. I added Northern Ireland. It's somewhere around here. And the hand holding the giant net.
I don't want to.
Gotcha. That's some high tier drawing right here.
Yes, this is accurate.
Accurate description of the UK.
Mhm.
Technically accurate.
Yes.
The branch of the United Kingdom needs to be technically accurate.
I see it has extra 20% of Wales.
Yep. I can also draw it like this, so it's UK ball.
Ballsy.
With monocle and everything, but there's like a whale on it.
And now make it exploitable.
Got a blowhole and tail. Yeah, I guess they have like Sword flipper. So yeah, UK with whales.
Oh my god. It's beautiful.
It's a work of art.
Majestic.
You old mate.
You got some money on you, mate.
I say,
I need,
mate?
you know, love. I need some money for my wheel surgery to get rid of this wheels on me head.
It's a simple valectomy. It's not going to be very expensive.
Yeah, it's you should be glad that it's not a wheels on his knob. Got a wheel on me knob. It's pretty painful. It needs surgery. And NHS ain't gonna help me, love.
Not for whale knob.
Loot.
Anyways, I guess there's one more minor topic that I want to bring up.
Oh no.
It's a really dumb and stupid topic. It barely constitutes a topic, but here it goes.
But we already discussed Black Lives Matter.
Well, yeah, but this is tangibly related. So I was watching the news. I was using the app of the government-sanctioned news channels. You'd expect that they would inform citizens of very important news on the official government news agency app. It's like Dutch BBC. So, and it is an app on my TV, by the way. So I'm checking the app, and they're like, "Here's a breaking news article." I'm like, okay, tell me, what is it? What's so breaking? What's the information of utmost importance that I need to know? And then the government's like, okay, listen. Microsoft is using an actual gun emoji, which is the complete opposite of Apple's decision to remove the gun from their emojis.
Oh my
I
god.
was sitting there and I was like, "You will, me?" Except it was probably more like, "Wat loop je nou te zaniken?" Which would be in Dutch.
Yes.
The whole Apple remove. Why? Why is this a thing? Why are they removing an emoji because it's a gun? What? Why?
They actually didn't remove it. They replaced it.
Yeah, that's removing.
They want to take your guns away.
Yes, virtual guns away.
Replacing a revolver with a water gun is removing.
It's something the Joker would do.
But that's not the point. The point is that the government is taking out precious time out of my life to inform me that an emoji has been changed. Like this shit matters.
Artrix, that's because you are too old to get the news. They are targeting this at the young generation, you know?
I don't
They are
care.
targeting pretentious liberal hipsters.
They care about emojis. Emojis, life matters, I guess.
Yeah, that's very important because when I'm on the WhatsApps, I want to, exactly convey how I feel. So instead of, being a normal person and just looking up an image that exactly conveys what I want to tell, I want to, use emojis. And then I'm like, fuck off.
I can't properly express myself in emojis without a real revolver emoji.
Yeah.
Okay, here's the thing.
A water gun does not convey the same emotion as a pistol to the face. Mm. How can I pistol whip you with a plastic piece of crap? I need the heft of my Colt Python tree.
I mean, we've been shitting on DeviantArt a lot. A lot of people are, but they do one thing right, because there's like this account on DeviantArt. So if you type in their avatar, it's like an animation of a gun shooting, and there's another one of blood coming out, and in the middle you can just put in any avatar, so it's like someone being shot in the head.
Yeah, I love those.
Such advanced.
That's some very advanced GIF technology right there, or GIF, or however you pronounce GIF.
Do you GIF?
It's pronounced GIF.
Yes.
Yep. Agreed.
Mm-hmm. And Gibbs in video games pronounced Gibbs. I don't care if the root word is giblet. Just
Yes.
doesn't sound good.
It's
No.
GIF and Gibbs.
I too say Gib.
Hmm. And also, there is such thing as a GIF, JIF, a JPEG interchange format file. So, it's better to differentiate the words by pronouncing them differently. Also, I made the horrible mistake of actually checking the news, and
Okay, any other news items that we need to be aware of?
some guy in England randomly decided he was going to stab 5 people.
Oh yeah,
That happened.
That sounds newsworthy.
Yeah,
That's what you do.
apparently, there was some feud between. I don't know. I didn't really.
it's exactly what I would do if I was a guy in Britain.
Oh, but it's okay. According to the news site, they have thus far found no evidence that suggests this might be terrorism. It was just a random person being randomly murdery.
Which
I'm
means
starting to worry.
This man is not a terrorism.
No, he's just a crazy person. It's like, is that better?
Yep.
Oh,
The other person is
well.
still dead.
As long as he's not an organized crazy person.
You know, when I'm walking down the street and someone stabs me, and I'm laying there dead, and someone tells me, "Oh, by the way, he wasn't a terrorist."
No,
It's just-
Artrix. You shouldn't jump to conclusions. Like, if he stabs you just once, that can be a honest mistake.
Exactly. So,
Here-
but I was saying, so as I'm laying there being dead, and someone comes up to me and tell me, "Oh, but don't worry, he was just a crazy guy. He wasn't actually a terrorist." Then my dead self can be like, "Oh, that makes me feel at ease."
Although I do want to point out an oddness of all of this, and maybe it's not odd, but if people keep seeing that there's a lot of people going out and committing atrocious acts, whether they're terrorists or not, it might give them the idea that, you know what, people are getting away with this, and I really don't like that guy down my street. I could just go and lawnmower his face whenever I wanted, and I'd be able to do it. All these other people are doing it. What's to stop me from doing it?
Oh God,
So-
you may be onto something. Maybe
Not
it's
want
becoming
to
a
be
trend.
arrested.
I mean, with the rise of horrible attacks inspired by terrorism, isn't that far of a leap for people just to start, acting on their own personal grudges when they realize that no, the law isn't going to stop you. It might punish you, but it won't stop you.
But then again, that was a given.
The law can stop anything. That's
The
one of
only-
the first thing we learned at law school.
The only place you ever see crimes getting interrupted like this is places with large amounts of public gun ownership.
Yeah.
So in other words, you're saying that taxes shouldn't have any attacks.
No.
ever.
I'm saying it's more common in places where your average citizen is armed, that if someone tries to commit a crime, they might be stopped.
They
And
don't even have to be armed. Sometimes it's enough when they are very gutsy.
but that can happen anywhere. I'm just saying it's more likely when you are already heavily armed. It gives you a kind of mechanical courage. It's
Yeah.
like, look at that guy robbing that liquor store with that shitty little Walter PP7. Well, I have my Colt Python 356. I'm going to show him what's for. And then you walk in with your giant penis extension and you say, "Hey, how about you not rob this shop?" And then he's like, "Oh, yes, my little flaccid PP7 couldn't possibly kill you as quickly as your giant Colt Python," when in truth both of the guns are equally as effective at murdering people.
Mhm. That's always
Because
the
they're
funny-
guns.
Yeah, that's the
I mean,
funny
you
thing
can't
about
kill a
guns.
person with the rock.
I mean, the guy with the Python, if he's not used to shooting it, he's going to fire one shot and his wrists are going to be like, "Ow." the guy with the PP7, he's going to fire it like 6 times. He's like, well, I didn't feel anything. So as long as the guy with the Colt doesn't miss, it's fine. But it's about intimidation, you know?
Mm. And it's all about the skill of the shooter and whether, you know, the gun is appropriate for said shooter. So yeah, if you're a shitty shooter and you're walking around with an OP gun, you might actually be worse off.
Obviously,
you should really just shoot on point blank range.
Obviously, as a small stature, very skinny person with not much upper body strength, if I go to a gun store in America, the first gun I'm going to buy is a Desert Eagle 50 cal.
Oh yeah.
Or
That's
M2.
gun.
Look, I'm a very small person. I need to compensate.
Yes.
So you're saying that if I were to, so we both go into the store, so you get yourself a big Desert Eagle and like, oh yeah, and then you're like, okay, so what are you gonna get? And then I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna get.
And you get a Glock.
No.
A really
Nick,
small Glock.
He'd get a Derringer.
like one that barely has a barrel and it can basically fit in the palm of my hand.
Yeah.
It's barely visible when I actually use it. It's just
That's a danger.
engulfed by the size of my hand.
That's the danger.
Panboy's using 3 hands to hold the Desert Eagle, and like I'm just holding with my pinky and my thumb. Like, okay, I'm using this gun, but it's so small. Like,
One
my
word.
pinky doesn't even fit through the fit around the trigger. That's how small the gun is.
Really, don't realistically. If I was an American and I was actually promoting weapons for self-defense, personal defense weapons, I would be telling people you don't need anything bigger than like a 22 Derringer with 2 bullets. That's all you need to defend yourself in a mugging or to stop a shooter. You don't need an AK-47. You don't need a Colt Python. You don't need an AR-15, although they're good for, target shooting. I mean, they're great for that. They're precision rifles. But yeah, for personal defense, you need something with 2 bullets. That's it. You don't need a 15
So a shotgun.
round.
Wait.
Shotgun's good. Yeah, stick a sawn off in your pants.
One word. Blunderbuster.
That's just an older shotgun.
It takes it takes too long to reload.
So
Yeah.
you don't have to reload. If you hit something with the blunderbuster, it's dead. Often,
Oh.
even ones you don't aim at are dead.
I would argue if you aim at it, it stops existing entirely. It's not merely dead.
Exactly.
You're obliterated in a cone of shrapnel.
I'd actually, what might even be a good idea is like really, really tiny shotgun loaded with salt.
Yes,
Yeah, those actually work.
that
It's
works.
extremely painful. Like, extremely.
That'll put someone down faster and more effectively than a taser.
Folks used to do that.
Fox.
Fuck.
And now
Some
that
fucker is trespassing on your property in 1881, you just shoot at him with a shotgun loaded with salt.
Now that I've offered reasonable self-defense advice, I would still say I would prefer to be carrying around a Thompson with a giant barrel of bullets, just because it's cool. It's awesome. If I had one of those public carry permits in the States, and I was just wandering around, fully automatic 50 caliber submachine gun, or not 50, it's 45.
Well, Panboy,
You can't get better than that, can you?
the only problem is with Thompsons.
Hmm.
The prohibition's over already.
Yeah, but I can still pretend to be gangster, right? I'll get one of those. I'll get one of those old Fords with the side rails and the suicide doors.
Oh, yeah, I also heard that's the reason why in the Batman cartoon from the 90s, everyone was using Tommy guns, because that was to circumvent the censor laws of the time.
Actually, I think even as far as in the cartoons in the 2000s, they would still use Tommy guns.
But they also
Wait,
look
what?
cool.
Yeah.
But wait. Why were Tommy guns allowed?
Because
And not-
that's not a gun you could reasonably be expected to be able to acquire in the States.
Oh,
Mhm.
because they were just difficult to get.
Yeah.
I suppose that makes sense.
As I said, even in 2000s cartoons, the villains would often run around with Tommy guns, even though it was the present day.
The classic.
mind.
Look. The classic Chicago typewriter is forever. That was a nickname for the Tommy gun because it sounded like a typewriter.
I really don't mind. It's a
For
cool
some
nickname.
reason, the first thing that came to my mind when you said typewriter was the movie Naked Lunch. Because that movie had a typewriter made out of meat. That movie is a mindfuck. I recommend it.
Oh, I think I do know this movie. A popular Let's Player I know of on the internet did a review of it. His name is Bobbin Treadbear, and you should go watch all his videos.
I don't know either of those.
Wait, is
Panboy,
his
are
name
you
Bob?
shilling a stream?
I'm shooting a movie.
No, I'm showing someone I enjoy.
Oh, that's even worse.
I know,
Uh,
right?
What movie are we talking about?
Naked Lunch.
Hey, what?
Naked Lunch.
It's when you
Okay.
have lunch with no pants on.
It's by Cronenberg, who is the same guy who also made The Fly.
Yes.
I think he also
The Thing.
It is full of practical effects that are like what was in The Fly. It's basically a video about a guy who is extremely stoned while he tries to do his job, and because of this, he sees everything as horrible alien parasites trying to take over the world. Or is he stoned?
Also, in one scene, he sucks an alien's dick for
As you do.
inspiration, so he can have inspiration for writing.
Well, you would pass up the opportunity.
I think it's implied that he is in fact stoned on alien semen.
Yeah.
Well, inspiration.
Okay, alien semen. That sounds like the perfect sentence to end today's episode. So
What a high note.
Yeah, what a high note. It's
Yes.
marvelous.
So high.
Yeah.
Okay, and the problem is then crashing, and we all know what that means. So yeah, this is
Game
the
over.
Radio Rothingham episode 32, I guess. Watch and subscribe and like
And dislike.
and buy your shit.
Press that fart button.
But yeah, click it. Do it
Yes.
Do it.
And check out RadioRothinghamLotto.com.
now.
And buy our
And-
t-shirts.
And also buy my Radio Rothingham commissions. Buy all of them. There's only
Yes.
a limited number available.
If you won in the Radio Rothingham Lotto, you'll get all my CS:GO skins for all my guns.
Mhm.
I have 2.
Cool.
So yeah. Mechanics bye.
Good.
Good night.
I played some CS:GO today. I don't know why.